There's something timeless about plunging your hands into the soil, a connection to every gardener who came before us. On this quiet December day, the garden sleeps, but the soil teems with life, holding the promise of spring. Our ancestors survived by nurturing the land, understanding soil as a living community, not just dirt. Their ancient wisdom, feeding the soil, not just the plant, remains the key to resilient, productive gardens today. Let's journey back in time to unearth these enduring secrets and bring them into our own gardens. When we think of ancient soils, we might imagine lush, naturally fertile earth, but the reality is quite different. Many ancient soils, especially those in places like the Amazon, actually began as poor, acidic ground, unable to support abundant crops on their own. The richness we associate with these soils today is not a product of nature alone, but of centuries of human ingenuity and care. Over generations, people transformed these challenging soils by returning every bit of organic waste. Kitchen scraps, ashes from cooking fires, and even animal bones, back to the earth. This wasn't just about getting rid of waste, it was a deliberate, thoughtful process. By recycling nutrients in this way, ancient communities created a circular system where nothing was wasted, and every resource was valued. One of their most remarkable techniques was the use of charcoal, or biochar, produced from low-intensity fires. Mixed with pottery shards and layers of organic matter, this combination dramatically improved the soil structure. It helped the earth retain moisture and nutrients, while also providing a perfect habitat for beneficial microbes to thrive. This process was anything but passive. It was an intentional, ongoing partnership with the land, requiring observation, experimentation, and a deep understanding of natural cycles. Ancient farmers worked closely with their environment, learning how to nurture the soil so it could, in turn, nurture their crops. The result of these efforts was a living, breathing soil ecosystem, teeming with earthworms, fungi, and countless species of bacteria. These tiny organisms became the true engine of fertility, breaking down organic matter and releasing nutrients that plants could absorb. Even though ancient gardeners didn't have the scientific knowledge of microbiology that we do today, they understood through experience that the richest, darkest soils produce the healthiest, most abundant crops. Their wisdom was rooted in observation and tradition. Their guiding principle was simple but profound: always feed the soil first. By caring for the earth, they ensured their own survival and left a legacy of fertility that still amazes us today. Deep in the Amazon lies terra preta, man-made, jet-black soil that remains fertile centuries after its creation. Its secret is biochar, charcoal made in low-oxygen fires, creating a porous structure that holds water, nutrients, and supports beneficial microbes. Terra preta is more than just biochar. It's a blend of pottery shards, bones, and organic refuse, a living compost perfected over generations. This soil didn't deplete, it improved with use, flipping our modern view of agriculture. The lesson: we can build lasting fertility even in poor soils by recycling our organic waste and creating our own black gold. Biochar's benefits endure for decades, leaving a legacy for future gardeners. If you've ever dreamed of creating soil as rich and fertile as the legendary terra preta of the Amazon, you'll want to start with biochar. This ancient technique is now being rediscovered by modern gardeners who want to boost their soil's health and productivity. Making biochar at home is surprisingly accessible, and you don't need fancy equipment, just a bit of patience and some basic materials. Begin by digging a shallow trench or pit in your garden. Gather dry, untreated wood, branches, sticks or finsum, or even prune trimmings work well. Light a small fire in the trench, allowing the wood to burn just enough to start charring. The key is to limit the oxygen reaching the fire, so the wood smolders and chars instead of turning to ash. You can do this by gradually covering the burning wood with a thin layer of soil as it burns, or by using a metal lid if you have one. Once the flames have died down and you're left with glowing embers and blackened wood, it's time to stop the process. Douse the hot char with plenty of water to cool it quickly and halt the burning. This step is crucial to preserve the porous structure of the biochar, which is what makes it so valuable for your soil. At this stage, you have raw biochar, but don't rush to add it directly to your garden beds. Raw biochar is like a super absorbent sponge. It will soak up nutrients from the soil, potentially robbing your plants of what they need. To make your biochar truly garden ready, You need to charge it. Mix the raw biochar into your compost pile, or soak it in a nutrient-rich solution, such as compost tea or worm castings, for several weeks. This allows the biochar to absorb beneficial nutrients and microbes, transforming it into a powerhouse soil amendment. After charging, blend the biochar into your garden soil at a rate of about 5 to 10% of the total soil volume. Work it evenly through the top layers of soil, where plant roots will benefit most from its effects. Over time, you'll notice your soil becoming darker, richer, and more crumbly. Plants will thrive with improved water retention, better aeration, and a steady supply of nutrients. With a little effort, you can create your own patch of terra preta, turning ordinary earth into a living, fertile legacy for years to come. Ancient farmers also mastered fallowing, letting land rest to restore its vitality. Today, we can mimic this by planting cover crops like clover or rye, which protect and enrich the soil over winter. Chop and dig them in come spring to release nutrients for your next crops. Crop rotation is another ancient tool moving plant families each year, prevents nutrient depletion and breaks pest cycles. Try a simple 4-year rotation: legumes, brassicas, roots, and fruiting crops, moving each group annually. This balances nutrients and keeps soil diseases at bay. These time-tested practices build long-term soil health. Even small gardens benefit from these ancient rhythms. At the heart of ancient wisdom is this: feed the soil's life, not just the plants. Compost, leaf mold, manure, and green manures provide a diverse diet for the soil's microbial community. Avoid chemical fertilizers; they bypass and often harm this living web. Mulch regularly, and disturb the soil as little as possible. No-dig gardening protects the delicate networks underground. Each layer of organic matter feeds earthworms, fungi, and bacteria, who in turn nourish your plants. Healthy soil is a living ecosystem, not just a growing medium. By mimicking nature, you create a thriving, resilient garden. As a new season begins, take a moment to reflect on the journey your garden is about to embark on. Remember, the most innovative gardening is rooted in ancient wisdom, passed down through generations of growers who learned to work with nature, not against it. The secrets to a thriving garden aren't always found in the latest trends or gadgets, but in the time-tested practices that have nourished the earth for centuries. Practices like biochar, crop rotation, and feeding the soil's living web connect us to a tradition of stewardship. These methods, once considered old-fashioned, are now recognized as essential for building healthy, resilient gardens. By embracing these techniques, you're not just growing vegetables, you're participating in a living legacy, one that honors the wisdom of those who came before us. Building living soil is a slow, rewarding process. Every compost bucket and cover crop is an investment in the future. Each time you add organic matter, you're feeding countless microorganisms that make your soil come alive. Over time, these small acts accumulate, transforming your garden into a vibrant ecosystem teeming with life. It's a process that requires patience, but the rewards are worth every effort. You'll see the results in healthier plants, richer soil, and a more resilient garden that can withstand drought, pests, and the challenges of changing seasons. The soil becomes darker, more fragrant, and full of life, supporting crops that are more flavorful and nutritious. This approach is about legacy, leaving your patch of earth better than you found it. Start small. Make a batch of biochar, plan a simple crop rotation, or begin a compost bin with your kitchen scraps. Each step, no matter how modest, is a contribution to the health of your garden and the planet. Over time, these habits become second nature, and your garden will thank you for generations to come. Observe your soil's life, notice the earthworms, the rich smell, the way roots spread and thrive. These are signs that your efforts are paying off, and that your garden is becoming a living, breathing part of the natural world. As you nurture your soil, your garden will flourish in ways you never imagined. You'll harvest more than just food. You'll cultivate a sense of connection, purpose, and joy that comes from working in harmony with nature. The past holds the key. Dig in, honor the wisdom of those who came before, and happy gardening.